Hey everyone, welcome back to Collector Chatter. I'm your host Miguel here, my co-host Charlie. As always, we're back with another amazing episode. This is episode 45, and in this episode, it's going to be centered around the New York Comic-Con drop. It is massive. We're going to run through all of those things, and we're also going to talk about the Fright Night box, which was this year's New York Comic-Con special box and event.
And if you're listening on podcast platforms, as always, thank you so much for your support there. But please head over to our YouTube channel where, like we always say, we have exclusive content. You can see all the visuals of all the pops and sodas that we're talking about. And we even have a bunch of NFT videos that, keep coming more and more as usual. All right. So with that being said, let's chat.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Like I said, this is episode 45. Very exciting for this episode. This is going to be NYCC mostly episode, like I said in the intro. And if you guys notice, if you're watching here on YouTube or if you're listening, you're about to hear him. But we do have a special guest once again, Trae from South Texas Collectibles. He's been on before. We love him, great friend. And, we wanted to bring him on because this is a pretty awesome drop. We have a lot to say about this, about the box, etc. But Trae, right off the bat, like, how you doing, my man? How's it going over there, over in Texas? Over here in the East Coast, it's pouring. So how's it going over there?
It's going good. It's not over 90, 95, 80, or like 100 degrees. So it feels good for now. I mean, I'm sure next week we'll be back in the high 90s. A heat index of like 115.
Crazy.
Yeah, I generally can't wait till winter, but our Christmas is like 89 degrees. Like, it does not get cold here. So like, I envy
That's
everybody
crazy.
that gets to wear jackets and flannels. I'm just like, I'm wearing shorts on Christmas.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like, yeah, obviously everyone wants the cold, Christmas, winter, but then it's like,
Yeah.
I don't want it to be cold anymore, and I wish it was hot like that. But then you're the complete opposite because you never have the cold, because it gets cold where me and Migs live, like freezing.
Yeah, I can imagine. The one time I went to Virginia, I mean, it was like 15 degrees when I got there, and then when I came back to Texas, it was like 98. I'm like, dude, I'm all bundled up with a big jacket.
Crazy.
And I was sweating when I got back.
Yeah, if you ever shave your beard, you're gonna be so less hot in Texas. I've never really thought about that. Like, that must make you so much hotter.
It does. When I'm working out, it just fizzles out. It gets really hot. Maybe after Christmas, I think it might go down a little bit, if not majority. Maybe like yours, Charlie, for sure.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Big difference.
Okay.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I said
that'll be
this
a huge difference.
You got to do that on camera.
Yeah. I might have to. Yeah,
that'll get you to that 750 subscribers. So
yeah.
For sure. All right, cool. So I'm excited about this episode. We talked about it before. We said we wanted to get Trae on to kind of, talk with us. We did that little collector council thing last time we had him on, and we're like, let's have him on again. We'll get into it. So we're gonna mostly talk about the NYCC stuff, but before that, we wanted to talk about obviously Fright Night, which was this year's event, which is during NYCC. And in the past, we've had Fundays, the Funko Box of Fun, and that was one for San Diego Comic-Con, which kind of the last couple of years we've had the virtual option, and then this is the first year back where there was the event and the virtual one. So for NYCC, they were like, hey, we're gonna do it again. It's Halloween themed, like the whole event is Halloween themed. And this one is going to be a Halloween style box. So obviously I was super excited. I know we were all very excited for it anyways, because we love getting Freddy's and exclusives and whatever. So this box dropped last Friday. The event is going to be this Friday coming up, because New York Comic Con, of course, is Thursday through Sunday. The Friday night will be the event. We talked about it in our last episode, the event, and trying to get those reservations and tickets or whatever, and that was a hot mess. But the box itself, I was actually excited for it. I thought it was going to be an easier process or whatever you might say. But just, spoiler alert, I didn't get a box. I think, Trae, you did not initially get a box either through, right? Charlie, we'll talk about what happened with his, but something crazy. But either way, right off the bat, I just kind of wanted to talk about like what happened. Like if you guys experienced the same thing, like let me know what you guys went through. And if you guys are listening to, like let me know how your guys' experience was. But me myself, I absolutely hated how this process was, and we've talked about it before with Funko, like their servers or whatever it is, like it's a mess, bro. And
Yeah.
it's like it was crazy this time around. My issue was, I don't know if it was the same with you guys, was I was able to get in, get the item, add it to the cart, and then when you would go to like check out, it just kept looping back to the
Yes.
cart to check
Yep.
out. And I literally did that like 14, 15 times. I was like, click it, check out, click it. And I'm like, bro, what is going on? This is crazy. And it was obviously probably from the traffic, I would assume. And I was going for the Hannibal box. And then I even tried on my phone for the other box just to see. And then what's crazy is I was able to get to the payment section, put in all my payment information, and then click like pay or whatever it says, a complete order. And it was like loading for another, like what seemed like a year, but it
Forever.
was like maybe minute or whatever. And then it said it was sold out. So then I missed out on the box. And that was my experience. But it seems like it was similar for you guys when it came to like that loading thing.
Yeah, I mean, I had the loading problem. I also had an issue where, and then I went online afterwards, and a lot of people had this issue where it was like saying it couldn't read your credit card. So it kept making you put it in over and over again.
Oh,
And I think, though, obviously, there's one major issue that's happening besides these problems that we had. Funko has a bot and people who jump the line issue. Because it's happening way too often now with these exclusive drops. The ones that people know are limited, they're going to be hard to get. And quite frankly, people brag about it online.
yeah.
And I feel like Funko has someone on their team who reads this stuff. And I'm sure it's really hard to stop these types of, technologies, but they really need to work at it because we're all on here, and like Mick said, I was lucky to get one, which I'll explain that later, but like we didn't get one, and there's people bragging that got like 25, which first off, you were only allowed to, it's still up for debate, but we think you were allowed to get one of each from one household.
I believe that's
But then
what it
these
was.
Yeah, I
other
think
people are
so.
kind of bragging about, they're like putting this on the internet. Yeah, I just ordered them and put them in all these other addresses of all these other people I know, and like they're just gonna give them to me, which like I know there's nothing against I mean, it's just like you shouldn't do that. And then like when people can't get one at all, it's just so upsetting to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely agree. But hopefully they get all the same things. If they get multiple boxes, they get
I
everything
know.
the
I
same.
agree.
They get
Karma
all
can come back to them.
duplicates.
Yeah.
It just
It
bothers
happens
me. I
to some
noticed like
people.
it's just funny. I've never seen a Funko influencer miss out like we do or other people ever.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're getting honestly special treatment from Funko. I think they're cheating the system, which really
Yeah.
bothers me like a lot.
Yeah. Could be
I
the
can
case.
go on about it all day.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. It
what
like
what
pisses
happened
me
with
off.
you, Trae?
So I literally skipped my workout for the day, and I was like, I'm going home, getting on my laptop, getting on my tablet, getting on my phone. And I literally did what you did. I tried for one on one device and then tried for the other on another device. And it just kept on taking me back to the main screen of putting it back in the cart, even though it was already in the cart. So I checked out, and then finally I got through. And I was like, okay, less than a minute in the queue, and
Yeah.
then it sells out. But I got a shirt, so like that's kind of cool. The only cool thing, but I mean, it
You're
definitely
such a
was.
glass half full type person, Trey. We love
I
you.
was like, I was like, you know what? I like the shirt. I had the shirt in the cart. I was like, man, I might as well check out. I like the shirt. I was like, I'll be happy with that. But I ended up
Yeah.
getting one eventually anyway. So
Yeah. So you got it kind of like third party ish,
Yeah,
right?
talk
Like
about it because it
basically.
shows there are good people in the community.
yeah,
So
so y'all are aware that I am part of a Discord group, and basically there was a guy that got a few and was like, hey, I know a lot of y'all missed it. First person to take a picture with a mask or a knife with your Discord name and a timestamp. I was the first one. I did it, and I was able to get it for basically, I think it was like $20, I guess, for shipping, right? $20 over,
Yeah.
which is completely understandable. So I'm happy that I got it. And I know Migs, you didn't get. When I tried to enter again or get somebody else to get another one, I tried talking. I'm still in talks with him, so hopefully. But you know, if there's something you want in the box, feel free to be like, "Hey, can I get that?" And be like, "Sure, no problem."
Appreciate it.
On the way.
Appreciate it. Nah, and that's because you're obviously a great guy, and even the person, like you said, like you sold it. That makes sense. You sell it, whatever. It's a couple bucks over, even if it's $50 over, like whatever. But like we know that that's not what most of these people are going to do. That are the flippers per se. Like they're doubling the price, and it's like $300, and it's like ridiculous. But it's also, I think Charlie kind of hinted towards this too. It's like now it's like there's like two like things that we kind of like hate, I guess you could say, right? The flipper was always one because it was like, all right, they're just benefiting off getting money. They don't even care about it. But it's also now there's this group of people, basically, let's say, who are collectors and they just love to flaunt that they got everything. And like maybe they aren't going to flip it, or maybe they'll flip it or not. But it's more like, oh, I got all of these. And now I have all of this collection. But they didn't get it legitimately because pure fact is that you were supposed to only get one per household, maybe two. Let's say you got one per box. And even if you like have another house, whatever, like maybe you can get a couple. But the people that have like 10, 12, like those, there's no, that's not legitimate. Like and for you to get through that fast that many times is only with these like
Exactly.
bots. Like that's just the way it is. And it's been like that, sadly, for a long time when it comes to online sales. It's not just a Funko issue. That's just, it's happened forever with sneakers. It's happened forever, like with other big things.
Sure.
Like, that was like, I always thought sneakers was the biggest one because when it came to Jordans and Yeezys and stuff, like the resale on those was always so high. So bots was a big deal. And bots aren't free. Like most of the time you got to pay for a bot and whatever it is, but you were guaranteed something. And like, it's like literally like a guarantee basically you were paying for. So it kind of sucks that it's still happening, and it's happening now with Funko because the popularity and then the money and value and stuff involved in it. But for like us, when we're like just trying to actually get in, and like Charles said, maybe the bots is what's crashing the site, or Funko itself still needs to fix this internally because the fact of it crashing the way it does is like, come on.
I think it's
like,
partially the bots crashing it because it's so many things coming at it. And what's even more insane is like, I don't know this for a fact, but you can just tell I'm salty. I feel like some of these channels, you're right, you do have to pay for a bot. They're not free. I mean, I've never looked into one, but I feel like some of these channels are buying bots from money that they get from their Patreon / like channel subscriptions. And it's like it's helping content. Like as sad as that sounds, like I really believe that's happening. And like it's just so funny. There's so many people in the community that are amazing, and there's other ones who are just ruining it for like, we just wanted a box. Like I know I'm not going to get all of them. And like I can say too, like Migs alluded to, I was lucky enough to get a box because shout out to my wife, whenever something like this goes on, she tries to help me get it as well. And we made a pack. Like I was going for Hannibal, she was going for the other one. It seemed like the Hannibal one was the more popular one. She encountered some of those issues, but then randomly she had to like do, which I never had to do once. Like when they make you check, like, oh, look at this image, and you have to pick like these are all streetlights. She did that, went through the process, and it let her check out. Where I never had to do that like once. And I don't know if she just happened, like she still had to wait long, and like it was really stressful. I didn't think she would get one either. Then luckily she got it. And then that's when I found out mine was sold out. Like I had it in my cart a million times over, and then all of a sudden said it was gone. So I luckily did get one. But it's still like, it just shouldn't be, and we don't need to talk about this in exhaustion. We shouldn't be talking about this every time something like this happens. Because it's an ongoing thing. This happened. I know we all got the box of fun from San Diego Comic-Con, but this happened to a lot of people I know. Some of my friends experienced the exact same thing that you both experienced with this. I get they're popular and they're selling out, but like you shouldn't have it in your cart and have to like 5-minute checkout. Like it just shouldn't happen.
My confidence level was super high though. Whenever I was like,
dude, so was mine.
I got the SDCC on my phone. I was like, okay, I got this. Like I got 3 devices on, and then nothing. I was like, oh. my confidence level just went down. I was like, I better get something awesome in the future. And then literally hours later, I won that little contest. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah,
The thing that's funny though, now, and
yeah,
we'll
it's
get into
pretty
the
cool.
contents of the box, but I think we all have different opinions on it. I mean, we all still think what's in it is cool, but a lot of flippers are now annoyed because it's not what everyone thought. And I noticed the
Hmm.
prices on eBay have like come down tremendously where they're barely making any money, which
Yeah.
I mean, screw
Yeah.
you. But
Yeah, I
like
mean
it's
it's just the way it worked out for them. It's like whatever. But like, yeah, just going off of that, just so we can kind of touch on that before we get into the NYCC stuff. So obviously we've gotten pictures already of certain people that have already gotten the boxes, which that was a whole nother thing. Like I was actually shocked that people like the next day already were getting these, even if they
yeah.
are on the West Coast, like
Yeah.
the next day was a little shocking to me. And it wasn't that the event had them because the event is this week and we don't even know if they're going to have, well, I believe they are going to have different items in their box. I think they did say that, which will be similar to what they did in San
Yep.
Diego, which would be cool to see what those will be. But yeah, we saw some of these. It's 3 pops, 3 sodas, and for the most part it's mostly just generic Funko characters that aren't really, I guess the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde are the only ones that are actually like characters. The rest are pretty much just like a ghost, a
Yeah, a
werewolf, a
devil.
devil, like pretty generic, except for the 2 main pops, which we knew were in the boxes, which is the Hannibal and the Nosferatu one. Um, we were hoping, well, I was hoping that they were going to be like
No, me too.
legitimate Freddy real
Yeah.
characters. Maybe that's what the box at the event will be, which would make it even cooler and more exclusive, which would make
Yeah.
sense. Um, but overall, I didn't, after seeing everything in it, I didn't like love it as much as I thought I would have, but I still would have loved getting a box. Um, but I liked more certain items more than others. Like the werewolf one. I know there's different versions. Like it looks like there's a paint, like a glow painted version of the devil, and then there's one that's like him in a devil suit. So it's kind of like a mix of different Freddys.
Yeah.
Pop wise, I think the sodas looked better than the pops, in my opinion.
I agree.
Because the pops I thought were a little, except for the creature of Black Lagoon's pretty cool.
It's
That
funny.
one
I
looks
like
like a
that
very
one the
nice, like,
best.
yeah, that looks more like a classic. Okay, this is a cool horror Freddy.
Which you
Obviously
can
the
say
Hannibal,
that's
obviously one.
like a movie one per
Yeah,
se.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which that's besides the main 2, that was probably the next one up that like was similar. Because even the zombie, there's like different versions of
There's
it,
2 of
and
them,
it
yeah.
looked kind of weird. It didn't really look like Freddy, so I didn't like love that one. The ghost one was a
Yeah.
little. So, but yeah, overall, it was kind of just like, all right, it was a cool box, but like, I still would have loved it because I love Halloween. I love, Freddy's would have been cool either way. And even the sodas, they're very limited, the number on the sodas. I think the pops were like 10K, right? So they weren't
They're
like
all
Yeah.
10K.
super
Yeah.
limited, but they were still cool enough. But yeah, what are your thoughts? I mean, that's kind of like
I
overall.
mean, I'm a fan of them. Like one thing I think is pretty cool is 1 year later, we're getting a lot of physical items of what was in that NFT set, which is funny. That's like the first thing that
Yeah.
got us
Yeah,
into
that is kind of what
NFTs.
yeah, it's
I
true.
mean, it's essentially what it is. Like I went back and looked, like all those sodas were part of the NFTs. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't understand why they decided 2 pops that you saw, and maybe it was a selling tactic, even though I don't think if you're a Funko fan, you just love Freddy in general. Why the ones they showed you were movie characters and they were the only 2. I just find that to be random. I think it would have been
Yeah,
better to not better or worse, but like why include them? It's just it's odd to me. That was my only
yeah, they
thing
weren't
that
a
Yeah.
mascot like we're
yeah,
usually getting. It was
it's
literally just a
just random. Um, but overall, I think the box is pretty cool. It also, I like that they're giving sodas like some love, which it's odd. We talk about
Mhm.
this all the time here. It's really showing that like I don't think anything will ever surpass pops, but like this brought sodas to like, the big
Yeah.
show by it being part of this box, which was cool.
Yeah. I definitely agree too. I think like the pops are pretty cool. I think the zombie, the black and gray scale one with the blood, I think that one looks really good. And the
Mhm.
Spirit Freddy are my favorite out of all the pops. The sodas, the black light, obviously, that one's pretty cool. That's closest to the 500 piece
Yeah.
SDCC one. And I think they just announced the flocked one today.
Yes, someone got a flocked one
Mr.
of
Hyde.
yeah. So
Mr.
there's
Hyde.
still
Oh,
some
really?
out there, yeah, that which
Yeah.
is random, but still
It looks
super cool.
cool.
It does look
Yeah.
cool. Um, yeah, I mean, not to cut you off, Trey, like overall though, like I do think this was a successful box of doing just like sometimes I wish they did Freddy's like this in a weird way. They don't always need to be, just movie characters slapping Freddy's head on the body, even though that is awesome. Like I saw some people being like, these are lazy. Well, they're actually not lazy because they actually made an entire new mold of a character with Freddy, which I
Yeah.
mean,
A lot of them were different molds. Yeah.
yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
So
The only thing I
So,
don't like
oh,
is the Squid Games. I'm just like,
yeah, we didn't even
yeah, that
bring
was
that up.
random.
Yeah, that's totally random. Someone there must love Squid Games. Not that we don't love the show,
Well, you mean
especially.
someone? You mean the amount of people? I think most of Funko probably did because of
yeah.
the
No,
amount of
no,
people that loved it.
no, very true. But I mean more like that's completely, totally random to be part of this box. Like nothing
Yeah,
about
it
that
was
show
weird.
is like horror per se, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, so
yeah,
like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm just going off of what y'all
yeah. I mean, I
say,
guess
what I've heard.
the genre was more like a gore kind of
yeah,
genre, but it wouldn't fit into what you think this would be. Like, it doesn't go along
Right.
with the ghost and a werewolf, and like that was
exactly.
more traditional. So, yeah. But either way, we obviously all love the box, and I mean, it's gonna be hopefully when you get yours, Trey, we can see what you got. Same thing with Charlie. Um, if you guys were able to get it, let us know what your thoughts are and what you were able to pull. Hopefully, you got some cool stuff because it does seem like there is kind of some random ones out there that are still peeking out, and we haven't seen every single thing that's been in the box, which is cool. But we're gonna get into the main this year. This is the New York Comic Con, better known as NYCC. Of course, Funko has a booth this year, first time in a few years, since COVID. So that was a big deal. And normally this is one of the bigger ones. Obviously, this and SDCC are usually the bigger drops. But like when I went back to look at it again before we were get ready for this, I was like, it's 2 pages
It's
of
too
like
big.
stuff. It's like so much stuff. And then, I mean, we're not going to get into this too much, but obviously this week we have an NFT drop, which, me and Charlie are both really excited about being, Game of Thrones fans. And like, there's also all these pops and sodas coming out. And I'm like,
So
damn, like,
many.
do I save for this or that? Or what's the deal? So that's going to be interesting. But we're going to run through it. Basically, again, we said this was like Halloween based. So they themed it Frightmare on Fun Street is what they actually coined the term for this event, which I thought was cool. Back when we found out this is what the theme was, we were all pretty excited like
Yeah.
for what that meant. I do like though that it doesn't mean that like all the pops are horror related. Like that would have been a little too like niche for this. So I'm glad they
Yes.
didn't do that way. But we do got some pretty cool stuff. So we'll kind of run through it. I guess we could do it based off of the shared. If you guys are looking at the same one, right? The
Yeah.
shared like
Perfect.
Yeah.
main picture. And then we can kind of run through, what it is. If you guys are watching on YouTube, we'll pop up, glam shot of the actual pops and sodas, and kind of just a quick thought process. But if we don't really, something we don't want to talk about too much, we could just pass on and whatever. But we can kind of start off at the top, I guess, there with the box lunch. So box lunch has one exclusive this year, and it is from, I always forget his name, but he's from
Shmi
Peter
from
Pan, right?
Peter
Shmi.
Pan.
Shmi.
Shmi, that's what it
Yep.
is. Yeah, Peter Pan, Hook's little boy. And it's like him on a boat. So this I'm assuming is kind of like a moment or deluxe probably size, right?
Yep.
Like a
Yeah.
deluxe. Pretty cool. I never go after the deluxe ones just because they're so big and I don't have the space for it. But if I was like a big Peter Pan fan, like a hardcore one, this would be
Yeah, this
something
is
pretty
pretty
cool. I
cool.
mean,
If you're a
what are your
Peter
thoughts?
Pan fan, I like this pop. Peter Pan's one of my favorite Disney movies. I have most, well, not the OG ones, but I have a lot of the Peter Pan
Yeah.
pops. I'm sick of getting deluxe pops as well. I do try to like limit what I get, but like I feel like this one I can't pass on this time. It's super cool in my opinion.
Yeah. I like it too. I definitely like how they added the skull and stuff like that. He's on the boat.
Yeah.
But again, space is something that you can't get with buying so much stuff. So yeah, I might have to definitely pass on that one for sure though. But it's a great looking
Yeah.
pop, don't get me wrong.
Oh, I agree. I think it looks awesome, but it's not one that I'm gonna grab necessarily. But like I said, if you're a Disney fan, Peter Pan fan, like it's an awesome like moment to have there. But that's the one. So surprisingly, the box has only had one. That's kind of weird. They
I
usually have
agree.
a good
Yeah.
amount, which is odd. But then we also have Books a Million, which every once in a while we get them to come out with a pop. And this one I thought was pretty awesome. This is a Rubik's Cube.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of like the foodie line with the box and the eyes. And like that's kind of like what this is with the arms and
Yeah.
legs. But it's pretty cool. Like in my opinion, like
Yeah.
Rubik's Cube is a cool thing, and like just like it looks cool, it's kind of cute. So like yeah, I don't know if I'll grab it per se, but that's like a maybe on my end, I
Yeah.
guess you could say for that
I
one.
agree.
So
For me, it's a maybe. I think it's super cool. I agree with you. Like, I didn't like the foodsy line. Like, I think it's funny. I recently had gotten my son the Play-Doh Funko Pop. He loves Play-Doh. And like it
yeah,
looks like they did that for
same
some of
kind of
those
thing.
lines, same kind of concept. Yeah, I think it's a maybe for me, but super cool. When done right, this style works and like it works for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially the way it is, like it's kind of like it's in the motions of turning and stuff. I think that's pretty
Yep.
cool. Will I get it? Maybe if I go to a random Books a Million, maybe, but
Yeah,
yeah.
if we're
Do you
sitting
have
on the
Books a
Funko
Million in
shop, maybe.
Texas?
The closest one to me, I think, is 3 hours away.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I
And
don't.
then
I don't
there's
think we
like
have any
another
up
one.
here, right, Charlie?
I think we have like one not that far from you probably. I'm not sure where it is,
Yeah,
but it's in North Jersey. Very
maybe
like
Paramus area, like that
yeah, I
whole
think
like
so.
shopping
And maybe
area.
maybe in the Paramus Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never even knew this was an actual like retail store until I
Yeah.
like saw one once. I always thought it was just like a website. So there's not many
Yeah.
around us either.
Yeah.
That's why I was curious.
Way bigger than Barnes and Noble. The one that we've been to,
Yeah.
it's huge. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay, so
Okay.
we have tons of Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah, Barnes Noble's
Yeah.
big up here. I definitely remember like because the sticker always said BAM, and I always remember like oh
Yeah.
BAM exclusive, and I was always like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And then when I realized it was the Books a Billion, so it
Yeah.
actually was.
Same here.
Uh,
Same here.
wow, but that's cool. And then we have to, we have to have a Dragon Ball Z pop, right? So the Chalice drop, this is, and it's obviously Chalice is very well known for the anime
Yeah.
exclusives. There's a Goku. This one's like a metallic one, I believe, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
metallic one. I love Dragon Ball Z, but like a lot of these are very like almost duplicated. Like at this point,
Yeah.
like just a tiny little bit of a different pose and made it metallic. So it's like, I mean, the fact that he's like Super Saiyan with the silver hair, like the metallic looks cool in that version. So like it's a cool looking pop. Like most of the anime pops, I always say they look
Yeah.
cool, but not gonna grab one. I kind of stopped. Early on, I would get some Dragon Ball Z stuff, and then I was like, yeah, this line is way too big, and there's just like way too many to even try.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know Charlie loves anime, everything anime. So
Yeah, this is a pass for me. It's just funny that makes sense. I like so many people are always shocked that like I don't like Dragon Ball Z based off a lot of my interests, but I
yeah,
just never got into it. At this point, like I feel like it's way too late. Um, I agree with you. Like it's kind of like it looks, like a pop we've seen before. I do always love though that con time. If you're a fan, you're going to get a new pop for your collection. I do think that's super cool.
mm-hmm.
I feel like Chalice normally doesn't have a shared exclusive though for the con. So it's interesting
No,
how
they
we're
usually have
saying,
just their own exclusives,
yeah,
not
so
necessarily
that
for the
Yeah.
box
con.
lunch only has one. I feel like there's some stores this go around that normally don't have them.
Because
Chalice being one of them.
Box Lunch usually gets like some kind of anime as well. Maybe
They
not as
normally have a
popular
lot.
as yeah, I know Hot
Yeah,
Topic gets the majority of them, but Box Lunch will get like one or two. But the fact that they only got just the Disney one and not a Dragon Ball or Demon Slayer, yeah, it's
yeah,
kind
any
of
of
odd.
those is a little off. But then we got GameStop. Charlie, you can run through those if you want to start off.
Yeah,
So
so
GameStop
so
had 5 pops. Oh, well,
yeah,
5 items.
GameStop, we're going right back to, same line as the Rubik's Cube we just said. There's a Polaroid one. I
Yeah,
think
that one's
this
cool.
one's awesome. I am
Yes.
actually this one I'm getting.
Yeah,
It's so cool. Like I love how, the eyes are the two different colors based off like how the camera would look. Super detailed. It makes me feel like, are we now going to get more like retro products like this? Normally they were just kind of like toys, like I said, the Play-Doh
Yeah.
one, monkeys in a barrel, things like that. But I think this one's super cool.
Yeah, definitely agree.
What do you think,
Yep,
Mitch?
same. I agree. I think the detail is amazing. I love that he's holding the Polaroid like actual picture in his hand, which is super cool. And yeah, this and the Rubik's Cube both like coming out at the same time is actually cool because they both like are perfect examples of like this whole little snap, put eyes, arms, and
Yeah.
legs on a random item, but make it look cool. And yeah, it'd be cool if they do more retro like items like this, like not just the retro toys line, which kind of didn't really do as well as I think they thought it would have.
No.
This I feel like is a pretty cool, and it's cool that it's a con one too. It doesn't necessarily need to just be a common release.
Right. Yeah. I
All
like
right,
it.
so
It kind of reminds me of Max Scherzer with the two different color eyes.
Yeah,
it does. It does.
Yeah,
It did not come to clutch for the Mets, but
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
it's all good. So what a
Yeah.
disgrace, but same
Yeah.
old Mets. So yeah, the next pop is a GI Joe one, which I think it's Sergeant Slater. Once again, if you're a
Slaughter,
if you're a GI Joe fan, your con coming around, that's when you're getting new cool pops add to your collection. It's funny, I love GI Joe as a kid. I collected the action figures. Weirdly enough, I have never bought any of the Funko Pops. So it's just a pass for me, just because I've never collected them. But I feel like if you're a GI Joe fan, it's an obvious one to add.
yeah.
What do you guys think?
I honestly actually thought, because when I see him, I think of the wrestler. The
That's what he
WWF
is.
Sergeant
Yeah.
Slaughter was actually a
Yeah.
wrestler, but I know he was also like that a character from there. So like initially I was thinking, but he is under the GI Joe line, right? The actual box. It's not
Yeah.
under the wrestling
Yeah.
line. But I guess as like a wrestling fan, you probably would still maybe
Pick it
go
up.
after him. But yeah, it's not something I'm gonna get. Looks cool. It looks like him and everything with the glasses and stuff. I think it's a cool mold. I think they may make him as the wrestling version. I think.
Yeah.
I think
They
right
do.
they do.
They do.
Yeah, because I actually have Sergeant Slaughter from the WWE line, which I got in a
Yeah.
mystery box. So I might get it just to kind of have the two, but I don't know, depends. If it's still there at GameStop and I go, I might get it, but
Yeah.
it'll probably definitely be a pass. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll find it at GameStop, so you'll be adding it
Yeah,
to your
I'm
I'm
sure-
collection.
I'm sure it'll be there eventually.
I'll probably be there for a while, so I might be able to use my $5 coupon.
There you go.
There you go. All right, now I feel like we're gonna go through these GameStop ones pretty quick because I don't feel like any of us
Yeah.
collect them. Next one, it's from Yu-Gi-Oh. Looks pretty awesome, but it also looks almost identical to the Dungeons and Dragons one that they came out with for
I
last
actually
year.
thought it was a Dungeons and Dragons one, just a different like color. I didn't realize that's from
So,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I was never into Yu-Gi-Oh, not my thing, but I know
Yeah, the mold's cool.
It's funny. It's a pretty cool pop.
Yeah.
If I was to go between this or the Dungeons and Dragon ones, I actually think the Dungeons and Dragon one is cooler. It's just interesting to me that I don't know if this character's bait. It's just so funny that they're basically exact. They were able to use the same mold for a completely different character. I find that's like such a beautiful coincidence.
Funny. Yeah, and it's like a 10-inch, right? It's like a big supersized
Yeah, I
one.
was gonna say because this is supersized, so that means it's bigger than the Yu-Gi-Oh one, right? Because the
No, the
Yu-Gi-Oh was
dungeon.
like
Yeah, well, I don't
Was
know.
the other one supersized or
It-
deluxe?
It was. I feel like it was supersized, but it's not like that's like a weird term Funko uses, and maybe I'm like wrong, but like I feel like it's
Because
in
they're also
line
like
with the
wide
deluxe.
box. It's not like just the.
Like, it's not like
Yeah.
this is like a 10-incher or anything bigger than that.
Oh, that's true. Because it would be jumbo. Is the
Yeah.
10-inch?
Yeah,
I think they're
okay.
just.
they turn it.
I think
I
they're
think it's just bigger
saying
than a
that.
normal pop because it's like wider and it's got more going on.
Yeah,
That's probably why. So I mean, it's cool. The colors
Yeah.
and stuff and molds obviously cool, but
It's definitely cool.
Nothing we're going after. I'm sure. So
Then next, Migs, you can tell me. I know it's Dragon Ball Z, but I don't know the character's
yeah,
name.
that's Cell. Cell,
This
perfect cell. I'm not sure specifically the like the mode
One
he's
of
in,
his
but yeah,
forms, yeah.
the
yeah, one
pop
of his
looks
forms.
cool.
But that's a oh yeah, the character itself is amazing. I loved Cell when I was watching like Dragon Ball Z. I have like a general one. I think I put my Dragon Ball Z ones away somewhere, but I do have like the common version of him. So it's like a cool one to have. And they've made a few different forms of him. It's like him and Frieza pretty much had different like forms
Yeah.
and like versions. But yeah, not like I said, because I'm not really going after Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, I'm not gonna go after it. But if you're a fan, it's a pretty sweet mold. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Definitely a
then
pass though.
okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
But for me, this is gonna be my, I started off with getting one at GameStop and I'll end it with the Jon Stewart soda. I think this is awesome. I've been waiting for this soda actually. Sometimes I think it would have been cool if we had this be the chase of like a Hell Jordan one, but regardless, I think this one is pretty sweet. Like the
Yeah.
mold, I think it's super cool. What do you guys
Yeah, and
think?
the chase glows, which makes sense.
Yeah, it's
Glowing
perfect for
kind
that.
of fits it,
Yeah.
it totally does. And this is the first Green Lantern white soda, right? They don't have Hal Jordan or any other Green Lanterns, right?
No,
Trying to think. I
I'm
don't
pretty
think
sure
so.
they have Hell. No, they have Hell Jordan.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do because he has the White Lantern as the chase.
The chase, correct.
That's the one. Okay, yeah, so they do. Okay, so that's cool. At least, that is a different one, but at least they're giving us multiple characters
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
that, so that's actually cool. I don't know. Do I have that? I think I do, but I don't have the. I don't have the White Lantern one. I know that for a fact. Chase one, but yeah, this is one I'll grab. I as far as like sodas go, like I'm pretty much gonna probably try to go after all of them or majority of them, if anything, because there's a ton of awesome ones. But yeah, this is the first besides the Polaroid, which is probably like a guarantee-ish. It's like in the maybe to yes. This is like definitely a yes for me.
I know you're not a big
Yeah.
DC collector, Trae, so is this a pass for you?
I think it might be a pass. Maybe again, if it's there, I might just try for the chase because going for a chase is pretty cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, probably
Well, and then it
if
also
it's
sucks
not
you don't
there.
get one. You can only get one of each of these because it's like more of a traditional con. So I always hate when it comes to the sodas and you can't at least
I
get
know.
two. So it's always
Yeah,
a
and
pain.
that's what I was trying to find out today when I went to a GameStop. I was asking the employee like, "Hey, do y'all know what y'all are gonna have in stock yet?" Because usually at our GameStops, they'll write down we got this many quantities of this one, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Man, they're not even in transit yet." And I was like, "It's Friday."
Oh wow.
So yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have them in store. Maybe I don't know.
GameStop's been kind of notoriously known for like not getting their stuff on the day of con
Yeah.
drops anyways. So I feel like it's always like them and
Yeah,
Target, like they won't come out to like later and stuff. So
yeah,
that's kind of that might be a pain to see. But I mean, hopefully we'll see if we can get it. But next up is Amazon. Trae, you can actually tell us what we got there from Amazon. So there's only 4 pops in this
yeah. So I think the
drop.
first one is what Superman.
Yep.
It's basically the red
Yeah.
version of the blue one. Was it
Yeah.
last year's? Yeah,
Yeah. Was it last year's New Year Comic Con? Right?
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
That came out. Yeah. It's literally, yeah, it's just a red, which I
So
think is like, that's what it's called, right? So it was like Superman blue and it's like Superman
yeah,
Correct.
red or
Superman
whatever.
blue.
It's like,
I think it looks cool. It'd be cool like to have the
yeah.
set, the blue and the red one, but I don't have the blue one, so I probably
Yeah.
won't get this one either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a pass on mine.
me too. And it's funny. I do like to collect a lot of Superman pops. I don't have them all, but I didn't get the blue one last year. So with that being said, yeah, I'll pass on this one as well.
I kind of wish they
Yeah.
made it glow in the dark. I think that would have been more appealing since I'm sure there's like lightning bolts that are translucent
Yeah.
that they could have made glow in the dark,
Excuse me.
but
I agree. I feel like they don't go the extra mile for like it's
yeah,
weird, but I agree with that.
yeah. So, but then next, I have no idea
All
who
right.
that is.
So this pop, I can take this
That's
one.
from a show, right?
Yeah, it's from the show The Last Kingdom.
Yes.
I
Okay.
think this is a excuse me, I'm a little sick, everyone listening. I'm not getting this pop, but we've alluded to this before. Like, I'm sure tons of people are gonna be like, why are they making this pop? This is so dumb. I think this is amazing. has like a nice cult following show. There's no pops in this line. Maybe this is alluding to like a bigger line coming down the line. Maybe it's not. He's the main character. If you're a fan of this show, like I think this is straight fire. I think it's
And
super
it looks just
cool.
like him and stuff too. Yeah,
It
the mold's
does.
cool.
Like I've seen some of the show. I never finished it. I just think it's like super cool that like this is a perfect con pop.
Yeah.
Like I'll leave it at that. So it's
Was it
cool.
was it a Netflix show?
Yeah.
It's
that's what I was
it's
gonna
yeah,
ask.
it's on Netflix in like America. It's like a BBC show. It's like a British show. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's on Netflix for
Yeah,
everyone to watch.
I've never watched it, but I've seen like the show, like I've seen clips of it or seen like that, exists and everything. But and I heard it was pretty good. Like anyone I've ever
It's a good
talked to
show.
that's watched it said it was good. So, but
All right. So
the
then, are you
next
gonna
one's
get it,
pretty cool.
Migs?
No. I never, I don't know enough of the show to want it, but it looks cool.
Yeah, I think it looks cool, but I probably again pass. And of course, this next one, I'm pretty sure this is everybody's favorite from what I hear.
Yes.
It's gonna be Anakin. I don't collect a lot of Star Wars, but this one does look good. I do like this one a lot. I'll probably get if I can get it, I probably will. But I
Yeah.
like the way his poses with two lightsabers. I think they did a good job on this one. So I'll definitely get this one.
Yeah, this one's awesome. This is my favorite pop out of the entire con. It's the first time they've made Anakin from Attack of the Clones. So there's not a pop of him from this movie that exists. So that just makes it even more popular, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And it's also, spoilers if you haven't seen the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, but the flashbacks that you see in that show are this version of the character as well, which this just combination of all of that, this is a pop that like I feel like is probably on the top of the list that Star Wars fans have wanted. And I'm happy Funko did it, and it's awesome with the double lightsabers.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks awesome. The mold is sick. I mean, like him with that like little tail hair that he had, like that's kind of like what you know of. But they do make the one where they're like fighting each other around like the little thing. He's similar to this look, right? Doesn't he have like the ponytail
It's
or
like a
like the
movie
hair like in
moment,
that
right?
one? Yeah, the little one where they're like fighting around with Darth Maul. Is that the one that he's in? And
Anakin's not in
there's
that. That's Obi-Wan.
okay. So is Obi-Wan have like his hair like that though? Because
So
from
when
back then,
you're
is that
like
why I'm mixing it up?
when you're like the Padawan, that's
Yeah.
like
Okay,
your
that's
look.
it. Because
Yes.
the hair itself is what I was getting at. But then yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
And so this is the first time Anakin's been in mold like this. Okay, cool.
Correct.
Yeah, so that obviously makes it like even cooler because like it hasn't existed yet.
Yeah.
And he's obviously, I think the show, like him being in those flashbacks, will probably push it even more because maybe
Yeah.
some people who weren't traditional to the old movies and stuff, they're just more like into the show. They might like want to get it too. So yeah, that's
Exactly.
usually there's like a couple Star Wars ones that like I'm like, yeah, I'll go for that one. This is one that I probably will. It's like in that like realm of like it's a maybe to a yes. Because just like Charlie said, like the mold and like just the pure impact of what the character is, because we've never seen him in Funko Pop. So definitely cool.
Yeah.
And now we will have like in Funko Pop form the entire like evolution of Anakin Skywalker, which I think is super cool. Like I've been wanting this Funko Pop, so it's like a slam dunk.
That's pretty cool.
So,
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was a version of Anakin as a kid too, right?
Yeah, there's two versions of him as a kid. Yeah.
nice.
That's cool. All right. And then last up for Amazon, we have the Statue of Liberty with the shield. I like this one. I know a lot of people are like, why are they making this? But it is NYCC, so it does kind of make sense. I do wish that
It's
it
true.
was also a 6-inch pop instead of a standard, but I'll probably get it just to complete the No Way Home set, of course.
Yeah. This had to have been a New York Comic-Con exclusive Funko Pop. If it wasn't, I don't see the point of this. But it is. So like that to me, it works. So I'm totally cool with it. And I feel like I'm like so on the fence with this one, but I'm leaning towards getting it because of what you kind of just said, Trae. Like, I don't want it to be like the only No Way Home Pop I don't have.
Yeah.
So like I feel like I have to get it. And not that it's not it's just it's such a random pop to have made. But once again, I'm liking to think that they did it because they knew it would fit for the con. Because
Right.
they've made Freddy as a Statue of Liberty before. That was like a con exclusive. So, and that aspect is cool. What do you think,
Yeah.
Chris?
I'm a little different, like, because I like it. I think it makes sense, like you said, New York Comic Con obviously is when it should have come out, and that's when it obviously dropped. I don't like the color of it. Like, I don't like how it's like that gold. Like, I don't. Was it that color in the movie?
I
It wasn't it just
think
a regular
so.
Statue of Liberty color?
No,
I
it
think it,
was
It wasn't.
this.
yeah.
It
Because I
was.
thought it
Okay,
was
I don't
super
remember it.
weird. And I thought it was a weird
I would
addition in
have
the
to like go back
movie.
to the movie. Yeah. Even in the movie, it was a little weird. But I agree with Trey. The biggest thing I think is that it should have been a 6-inch pop. If you're not gonna make it a full blown 10-inch, it should at least be a 6-inch pop, just because
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty is larger than life type of thing. But yeah, fitting into NYCC made sense. So if you're gonna come out with it, I guess. I mean, we're already kind of like blah about the No Way Home line because we all know that there's gonna be even more pops eventually coming out, and it's already in that whole like it's too late like
Yeah.
frame of
Yeah.
time. So this one kind of falls into that, I guess, even though it came out before some of those. So I guess you can't complain too much. But yeah, it's a it's a maybe for me, I would say.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I would after it or not. Like if it's just sitting around, maybe, but we'll see. Um but that was all. Yeah, that was all the Amazon stuff. Then we got Toy Tokyo, a little bit bigger than normal. Toy Tokyo
Yeah.
usually has like one or two, so interesting that they got four, well technically five, I guess, in this line. One is a Simpsons Pop, so we always usually get a Simpsons Pop. I don't know the name of this actual character. Like I recognize them, but I don't. You guys know off the top of your head?
No. Well,
I
I feel like
don't
I
Yeah,
should,
remember.
but
I know he's like the little
I,
like, yeah, I can't even
he's like a
describe him, but
bully, right? He bullies
yeah.
yeah,
Bart.
he's like one of the
Yeah.
bully
Yep.
characters. But it's cool. I mean, they always come out with Simpsons characters and they always look awesome. Like Simpsons fits into Funko Pops like perfectly. So for the most
Yeah.
part, they're usually all pretty good molds. And I believe this doesn't exist already, even though there's so many Simpsons characters out. There's a ton of characters that they can continue to make. So nothing crazy. I think we're all kind of on the same boat there. I mean,
Yeah.
unless like, are you a fan of? I don't have any Simpsons Pops. I like
Me
Simpsons,
either.
but I don't really.
Yeah. I like The Simpsons. I only have the Kang and Kudos 2-pack. That's the only one that I liked because it glue in the dark.
Yeah,
So that was the only reason
yeah, that
why I
one's
got
cool.
it. But other
Yeah.
than
I
that, I
have
don't
none.
have many.
Yeah, cool. So then the next one is a OG Disney Pop, and this is the Professor Owl. Right, this is what his name is, right? Which
Yep.
this one is the first time it's coming out in Pop, correct?
Yeah.
Right,
Hmm.
Correct.
but
Yep.
it does exist in soda. So
It
I remember when
does.
Yep.
this came out as the soda. I actually have the common and the chase of this one, which the only difference was the hat, which was pretty lazy, but it was still cool to have it. Um, and now we're getting just basically the common essentially version, but in pop form. I know back when this came out as a soda, Charlie like raved
Yeah.
over this being one of those OG characters that he thought was really cool that they did it. So it's kind of cool that they're finally doing it in pop form. Kind of makes sense that they do it, but it's a little random that it's now finally coming out, but at least it's one of those pops that you're kind of like, that's a cool thing. At least comes out as a con exclusive. I could see this pop honestly sitting probably on the site because maybe not as many people will like appreciate it as much as maybe some of the old school Disney fans. I mean, does that make
I,
sense, Charlie? You
I
think?
completely agree with you. And I feel like a lot of Disney people don't even know who this character is. He originated in like Disney sing-alongs, which I loved as a little kid.
Nice.
It's just so funny as we keep talking about the pops that are releasing. There's a theme to Disney pops for this con that were sodas first, which I find interesting.
Oh yeah, that's true. There are
A
those.
few of them. I've always wanted this to be pop. I always thought it was strange. Like I always find it interesting when we got a soda before a Funko Pop. Especially like then, like when that sodas came out, it was like just starting to become like the height of sodas, not even yet. And that's like right when you got me into the MIGs. So I'm shocked it's taken this long for this to become a pop.
Mhm.
But I'm definitely getting it because I do love this character.
Yeah, I
I'm
might
straight
get
to
it just to
okay.
kind of match with the soda, but
Mm-hmm.
It'd be kind of cool just to have with the soda. I don't have the chase, but I do have the regular comment.
Oh, you do? Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, I think I ended up getting it in a mystery box. So I ended up
Oh, nice.
opening it. It was just a comment. So I was like, either way, it's still a cool soda. So I think just to kind of have the pair, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, sure would be a good pairing to have if you have the soda. And then the next one, this is probably so far one that I'm like, yeah, this is 100% I'm getting this. Like,
Yeah,
there's
I
no
want this
doubt
too.
that I'm getting this. Like, and it is the Borat. This is the first time we're getting this. I mean, this is just perfect. I think they should have been had a Borat pop like this. Like, this is super cool. I'm sure we'll probably get more and different versions of them. Um, but it's a funny one. It's got the American flag and everything. And obviously, if Borat, famous look with the mustache and his suit on. So this is definitely a yes for me.
It's definitely a yes for me too. And I find it hilarious on the shared image where they always show like the copyrights for the companies. It says, please, you can touch LLC.
Yeah. Just realized that. Is that like what it's actually under? It has to be, right?
Yeah. I'm assuming that's Sacha Baron Cohen's company.
Like his company,
So
right?
that's amazing. Yeah, I
I
definitely
just
want this
saw
pop.
that.
This
That
pop's
is
amazing.
hilarious.
It's a perfect one. How about you, Trae?
Um, I've never seen Borat, so I
What?
probably won't get
Oh,
it.
what? No way.
Again, one of
I
those
mean, we
movies
shouldn't be
we talked
surprised.
about.
Yeah, we shouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah, you
I'm
guys shouldn't
okay
be
when you tell me
surprised.
you haven't seen TV shows, but you got to watch Borat.
But yeah, you gotta watch
Yeah,
Borat. I mean,
I
there's been a
definitely.
few of them. You gotta at least watch one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if I did see it, I'd probably definitely go for it. But it does look cool. I
Yeah,
mean, I've seen the
it's funny.
previews, so like it's identical to it, so it looks cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely will pass on this one.
I mean,
Excuse
now
me.
that I look at it though, I'm not gonna lie, like it does look like Borat, but then when you look at it again, it does look like the soup Nazi that they came out with for the
Yeah,
Seinfeld
Oh, it
pop,
does.
and it almost looks the same now that I look at it again. But knowing Borat, I'll still be like, oh, that's cool, Borat pop. That's funny. But yeah, the last one from Toy Tokyo. This is I have no idea what these are. They're part of Mori Chak. That's like the actual
I
copyright
forgot
on
what
them.
they're
It looks
called,
like there's a
but yeah,
flocked version and there's a regular one. I have no idea. Do you guys know? I don't even.
I don't know what this
I've
is.
seen them before,
yeah.
and it's kind of I don't know if it's like a show or a game or
I've seen people pick them up because I
what.
know there's a chase at Hot Topic. So I know there's like
Yeah,
another version of these, but
It's
I
a
basically like a
haven't.
teddy
show.
bear
It's
with like a
called
mask.
Gloomy the Naughty Grizzly.
Yes, gloomy or
Okay,
something like that.
interesting. So yeah, I'm sure we're all passing on that one because that's
Yes.
Yes.
not our cup of tea necessarily. But that'll be the last one for Toy Tokyo, and then now we're moving on to Funko, which has a massive amount under their
Yes.
shared versions. And we can start off at the top there. Charlie, you can go.
Yeah, I'll start.
So a lot of these are pretty sick.
Yeah. So the first thing we're getting is a t-shirt for the event. Which actually this now I'm looking at
Mhm.
the image, like this is a different shirt than the one you can already buy that Trae, you mentioned that you got for the box,
Yeah.
which I assumed it would have been the same one. So that's pretty cool that they had one for people who got the, partaked in the box and then who got to go to the booth.
Was
It
it
doesn't,
so? Is this going to be part with the mask, or is that two separate things?
I think it's two separate. Oh, you know what?
I think
Kind of
it's
looks like it
together. No,
go together,
it
yeah.
looks like it comes
It
together.
does look like it comes together, which is interesting because when they did the Freddy mask for San Diego Comic-Con, it was separate. You didn't get the
Yeah,
t-shirt with it. I didn't even put two and two together with that, but yeah, so it looks
maybe.
like it's a
Yes, we'll
combo,
see.
which is very interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, then the next one is um the Mask of Frankenstein,
Mhm.
which I don't know if these masks have been popping up more and more now actually because of Halloween. I feel like they came out last year, but for some reason
Yeah.
they're like really people are posting pictures of them all over online.
Yeah.
I've seen both of you with them. I guess I need to take a picture now.
I was just gonna say, what are you trying to say, Charlie? People posted them online.
Yeah.
But they're huge. Like they don't look
Yeah, they're
that
enormous.
big.
I did
They're
not know how big
enormous.
they were. That was the first time I ever seen them in person at a Target, and
I'm still
they're wide.
salty. I didn't get the Freddy one. Like I wanted it, and then my wife told me I was crazy for wanting it. Then I got it later on, and then they canceled my order. It's just, I guess it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be passing on this because I have even though it's cool, I have no need for this. It doesn't fit my collection.
They're just too big. Like, I don't know.
I feel like if they come out with a Star Wars like Vader one, like I'll have to get that. But as of now, yeah, I'm passing on this. I wonder if it's
like
going
the
to be in a.
shirt.
Well, no, it
The
does
shirt
say
is pretty-
Funko.com, so obviously we probably do have a chance to get it. It's just interesting to me that at that point you'll probably have an opportunity to buy both of the shirts. I feel like this should be an
Yeah.
event only shirt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, I mean, it says Frightmare on Fun Street, so it is a different shirt than the Fright Night shirt.
Yeah.
So they are also
different.
themed
You're
differently.
right.
So this one, I guess, is more so the actual con version,
Which I guess
even
that's
though
what the
it's kinda
booth
similar.
is called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Frightmare on Fun Street is what they're like theming it. But
Okay.
yeah, not something I'll go after. The mask. They
Now-
look cool. Like I said, it was cool to like put it on and like, oh look, but it's like, would I really
My
like
beard
wear
is still
this
hanging
somewhere, you
out from
know?
the bottom, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
Now this next 2-pack, I think it's creative why they did it, but I also think it's just a money grab, hardcore. It's a Stranger Things collector. Like I'm not getting this. It's Vecna, and it has the version of Vecna from obviously Stranger Things, but then also the character from Dungeons and Dragons, which is inspiring the character in Stranger Things. So I think the whole concept of it is cool. I just think it's just super random, and like it's interesting to me that they made a 2-pack with 2 completely different licenses that the companies don't own each other. I don't feel like they've ever really done that before. So they definitely had to like go out of their way to like make this happen, which I also find interesting.
Which is cool. I mean, I think
It's
like that
cool.
makes it like an interesting thing. I just hate the fact that like the Vecna Pop is literally the pop they already came out with. So they just threw
Both
it
of
in
them
there
are.
with this other one essentially. So yeah,
Yeah.
they're just collabing it, I guess, at that point. But it's like that's kind of, I mean, we've talked about this before when they do multi-packs that are literally just recycled pops thrown into one box. Like if I'm hating on the 4-packs and the 5-packs, I have to hate on the 2-pack because it's the same thing. Like we've been talking about. And I already kind of hate on the Vecna mold, even though I loved Stranger Things. I just thought they completely did not get what the Vecna really looked like. This thing looks ridiculous, like a squirrel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one.
Which I don't even think
It's a cool idea though.
It is a cool idea, but can you even get that Vecna Pop yet? Like the common that had like pre-ordered, is that even like actually out?
I don't think I don't think any of those from that little like wave have
so
been.
this is gonna come out.
Yeah.
So this is gonna come out. People are gonna have this before they have the common that you could have pre-ordered like a month ago, which is interesting.
Which is awful, but who knows?
So
yeah,
Trae, I'm assuming passing on this.
Yeah, I'll probably pass on it. I mean,
you haven't watched Stranger Things, I'm assuming, right?
No, I have.
I know you have. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Like, no, I haven't seen that. I know I haven't seen a lot of stuff, but I have seen that.
Nice.
No, I know. Okay. The next one I know is definitely Trae's favorite. Which I'll say this is my second after the Anakin. We kind of predicted this was going to happen. There's been rumors, but we're continuing the Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. This time we're getting Mikey and Raphael and as the Yellow Ranger and then as the Red Ranger. These are sick. I love this line. I think this is one of the most, I know it's based off of like the Boom comic that they came out with, but like this is one of the most creative collabs that they decided. Someone was like, we're making these into Funko Pops.
Yep.
I love this. And I've gotten all the ones that have come out so far.
Yes, I have too. I'm definitely excited for these. Raph is pretty much my favorite. And then, Michelangelo, I mean, just the way they look, the way they're posed, man, I just love these. I hope I can get the actual con stickers. I know we talked about it and you're like, oh, it's just a sticker, but all the other ones have con stickers, so like I kind of have to keep it
Hey,
the
we
same.
agree with you. That was that, tool
Yeah.
that wrote that on your comments. Yeah,
Yeah.
I called them out.
Yeah, so I think if I mean, I'll probably get the shared just to kind of, have them in hand. And if somebody needs them, here, if I can get the con sticker, which I'm in the works of getting with one of the, was it Box Crown from the Fantasy League? He's
Yeah.
gonna try
Oh
to get
fuck
me
yeah,
some con. Yeah, he's gonna try to maybe help me get the con sticker. So I'm like, all right, cool. So, but I'm definitely
yeah,
excited for these.
yeah, because he's gonna be going to
Yeah.
the convention. But yeah, this is sick. I don't have any of the other ones, and I remember like I like missed out on the first one. I kind of forgot to grab it that first time it dropped, and then I like when the second one came out, I was like I didn't want to get the second one and not have the first one, so I was like I'm just gonna pass. Michelangelo is my favorite of all the turtles. I always like even though I was named after my father because I'm a junior, but like my name is Miguel Angel, and I was like, yeah, it's like Michelangelo. Like I tell people that all the time. So like I always loved Michelangelo growing up, and he was always my favorite, anyways. Um, so like I might grab just him. Like if I had to just get one, I'd be okay with just having it be him. But both of these look awesome. I think these two look better than the two that just came out, even though they all look really cool. And even like the Shredder one, right? That's the only other one that
Yeah, the
there's been
Shredder.
three, right? The Shredder and then the
Yeah.
other two turtles. Um, but I love the idea. I love that they've been dropping them little by little at like cons and stuff. I think that whole like rollout has been great. The whole concept of this whole little, combination of the Rangers and Turtles, I think is pretty cool. So even though, like Trae said, it is an existing comic, but I'm glad that they're doing it in
Yeah.
like Funko form and they're doing it like exclusives. Like it's not just like a generic drop. So definitely something super cool. Like I got to think about it. Like if I would go after one, or if not both of them, but definitely cool ones. I know you guys would love them. I know you've been getting them since the beginning. So
I mean,
you got to
I
keep
don't
it going. You
I
have
don't
to
want
get
to
them
speak
now.
for Trae. I don't know if he's keeping his shared stickers, but you can maybe get those from him. Migs, if
Yeah,
if
there
you
you
needed
go.
them.
If you
Yeah.
get the cons, just let me know. Then I might
Yeah,
grab
I'll
these.
definitely let you know, man.
I'm curious though if
But
this will end this line. Because I do know there's other characters that they have mashed up within the comic. I even think they've made action figures of them as well. Like I'm
Yes.
pretty sure there's an April
Hmm.
action figure of the mashup. I think there's like a foot soldier. So I'm curious if we'll keep getting them or this. I feel like this is it. This is gonna end this line. We
Yeah,
got all
because
the
the Pink
turtles.
Ranger, yeah, because the Pink Ranger is the only one that doesn't uh mess with anybody. I think in the comics she's the actual Pink Ranger. Like she doesn't mess with April or anything like that.
that's interesting.
I
Yeah.
think I could be wrong, but I'm
I
pretty
think
sure that's what I
April.
remember.
I think April may be the Pink Ranger in the comic,
Is she?
but I could be wrong.
Because there's also Casey Jones.
Yeah, I think Casey Jones has. Let me see. I want to look this up now because I'm curious.
Yeah, I would think like April would fit perfectly into Pink Ranger if they
But
had like
I
a
don't want
more,
to derail
put
the
them together.
conversation. But I was
Yeah,
curious. It's just
But I
like,
wonder.
do we think this will keep going on? Like, I want it to, but I personally feel like now that we've
me
gotten the
too.
Turtles and Shredder, obviously, everyone loves Shredder, and he was the Green Ranger, which, like, for a lot of people, like, Tommy was
Yeah,
my favorite Power Ranger. So,
the
But I almost feel
figure.
like you have to get all the Rangers. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah,
So like if there whoever was the Pink Ranger one, I feel like they would have to kind of drop that because she's missing. Like I get the turtles are kind of fulfilled, but like part of half of this is the Rangers, so you would think maybe they'll do figure out who that was. But
no,
that should be
Trey is
cool.
right, actually. It's weird. Oh,
Pink
no.
Ranger's just Pink
No,
Ranger.
so the
yeah.
Pink, no, it's weird.
No.
When you look at the action figures that have been made, it looks like it's just the Pink Ranger, but has a swappable head and it's April's head.
Ah,
Okay,
okay.
so they should drop that. It would make sense. It's a big turtle character and it's a big ranger character. Like they
And
kind
then
of
they
have to. I
have
feel like.
Tommy as a foot soldier, which I think is pretty cool.
That is pretty
Oh,
cool.
okay.
It
That's
seems
cool.
like that's all the
So maybe
action
we'll get
figures
some
that
more.
have been made.
Yeah,
So
maybe we'll
we
get
will.
those 2 more. But that'd
Oh,
be
sorry,
cool.
I didn't want to. And I can keep going. This Funko.com is a long list.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Next, we're getting another 3-liter soda, Maleficent. I mean, I think this one's awesome. I've actually gotten all the 3-liters so far that they've made. I think this one's perfect. They're continuing with like larger than life characters. I feel like we just have so much of her that like we didn't need this one immediately. But another thing too, I have a gripe with, which we'll get there later in the list. I really wish we stuck to 1 per con. I don't like that we're getting 2, even though I like the other one. Like I don't want this to be overdone. We've talked about this in the past. I feel like these are going to become like common, which I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
your guys' opinion is on that, but
Yeah,
I
I
definitely
agree. I
agree.
mean, they've kind of been for cons and stuff, but we're getting a lot of them. And then we got, like a D20, the D23, there was one, right? So
yeah,
like it wasn't a con, but it was a way of them getting an exclusive in there. And then we had the Star Wars one, and I think it seems like they're just kind of it's going to get to a point that there's going to be too many of them. I think they're cool. I still yet have gotten any of them. This is a cool one. The chase looks pretty cool. I won't get it. It's just because it's, like I said, space, and it's not like a character I love, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta have that. But it is a cool one. If you don't have any, and this was the first one you got, it would be a cool one to get. Because to me, I always thought bigger characters and like bigger type mold of a character is what should be in these, and this kind of fits into that. Same thing like when we predicted that Baymax would be one.
yeah.
Like that made sense because Baymax is a bigger character. Like I just don't want them to randomly start making like a normal random character huge, like Mickey Mouse and big. Like it just wouldn't make sense. And that's when I think it'd be overboard. So at least they're making big characters with this one and the other one that we're going to talk about later.
Then we got
But
Claire
yeah,
about
I'm going to pass on it.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't even want to interrupt. Trey, what's your opinion on this?
I probably pass just because they also are pretty. $40.
Yep, they are.
Yeah,
I mean, as much as my wife likes the
they're
diamond
pricey.
stuff, to get the chase is gonna be. Yeah, I probably will pass.
It's funny you bring up the price point. I don't think $40 is like, I know I've gotten them, but like I don't feel like they should be $40. I feel like they should be 30, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Double the price of a normal soda. I'm okay with that. I don't get where we're getting the 40 from.
yeah.
Do you guys
Because I
agree?
don't even because they're like the same size as like the golds, right?
They're
The
not
12
like that. Like it's funny. They're not as like they're not small, but they're definitely not as big as you like envision them being.
right.
Yeah, I think the bottle is bigger than you think. Like the mold itself isn't necessarily that big,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
Oh,
Like the
okay.
bottle is kind of a bigger deal, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Pass.
Not for me.
All right. Next one. This is like deep cut Disney. This is Clarabelle Cow. Like I'm super excited for this one. I want this one. I wish they made more of the OG Disney characters. Like maybe this will start a line of like Mickey and his friends. But this goes back to what I was saying before about Professor Owl. This was a soda that came out around that time, and there's never been a pop. So we're now getting a pop, which I'm excited about. But once again, I feel like kind of how Mig said with the Professor Owl, this is probably going to sit as well. Most people probably have no idea who this character is unless you're like a hardcore Disney fan like myself. I don't know what you guys
I
think.
agree. Yeah, not gonna go after it, but it's a cool one. Especially for the old school Disney. And if you have the soda, again, this kind of fits like with the owl, where it'll pair well. So it's kind of a cool, like,
Which
1-2
is
if you
annoying
have them
though.
both.
The chase for the soda is the colored version, which I always thought should have been the other way around.
Yeah, and the black and gray is the common. So if you have the common, you're kind of screwed, I
I
guess.
will not have a nice match.
There you go. It's funny.
I'm just trying. I know there's just so many, so I'm gonna try to speed through
Yeah,
this.
I know. We can rip through them.
I'm
The
like
next one
looking
is
at this
similar to
list.
like what you said as well.
Yeah.
This also has a soda that
Exactly.
exists.
So Roger
It's
Rabbit,
obviously
and
Roger
we already have
Rabbit.
Roger Rabbit pop, but we haven't had one in a while. This is obviously more of an updated mold. It has like the Jessica Rabbit kisses on. I think this is a cool pop. This is like a maybe for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be a game time decision. Probably not, but if you're a Roger Rabbit fan, like there's few and far between stuff you get. So like I'm sure people are excited about this one if you're a fan of that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some pretty hardcore fans, I'm sure, out there. So they'll definitely
Yeah.
probably go after them, but not necessarily for me.
Same
Yeah,
for you,
I'll
Trae.
definitely pass. Yeah, same here. It looks cool, but I definitely pass.
And then the last in the Disney lot is that now it seems to be a common thread for cons. We have a Loungefly combo with a pop. This is Zero. Super cool if you're not a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, which I happen to be, but I just don't buy into this combo. I'm not a reseller. I know a lot of people try to get these and then flip them, which makes them even harder to get. This will probably be the first thing that sells out online. But I also don't like, you know, we've said this in the past, like for some reason they make it, metallic diamond, like they think that's like super special. Like I just wish it was a different Zero pop. Like there's nothing like, I like my common Zero pop better than this. Like, yes, I'll
Yeah.
say that. Like there's just, if you only care about the exclusivity, that's why you're getting this, in my opinion.
Yeah, my wife showed me that she liked this one. She was like, I really like this one. I was like, oh, it's 3,000 pieces. That's gonna be kind of hard to get, but it also comes with the bag. And that immediately she's like, oh, never mind. I don't want the bag. I just want the pop. And I'm like, all right, cool, because I don't want to spend $80, $90
Yeah,
for the
no,
bundle.
exactly, yeah. Because you got to get it together.
Yeah, so, but I probably will pass now that she's like, I don't want the bag. I just want the pop. So, yeah. But it does, I mean, it's like you said, it's just the common one looks better than this.
Yeah. I don't think there's yet to be, weirdly enough, I tried to get the Star Wars Celebration one because I thought the Loungefly bag looked awesome. Not that I would ever use it, but I'm like, oh, this could look cool on my display. But I don't foresee myself like ever really trying to go for this.
Yeah.
All right, Migs, I'll let you take this next one because I feel like this is something you're gonna want, correct? Am I wrong in saying that?
So maybe. So it is one that like I initially was like, yeah, I probably, because I have majority of the Biggie Pops. So now we're getting another one, and it's pretty similar. It's like a mold that we've had, but he's obviously got like a gold outfit and looks pretty cool. I don't know if I like love it as much, but it's kind of like I'm on like the fence on it. I do like it. And like I said, I have most of them. I don't have every single one. Like obviously I know the OG ridiculous grails, but for the most part, I have most of the other ones, including like that all gold one that came out at Toy Tokyo exclusive, which I was excited when that came out. So it's kind of like similar to that, but yeah, nothing crazy. I mean, I'm sure it's probably not something you're going after.
It's a pass for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a maybe. I mean, maybe. I mean, I have some of the Biggie Pops, but maybe we'll see.
it's a maybe. And then we got a whole other row more of Funko. So we'll kind of rip through these because I know there's a lot. Because we also have another page
so
of
many.
A little bit. The next page I feel like we can kind of fly through even faster. But we got this is from Blue's Clues, right?
Yep.
This is the original OG. Was Josh? Is that his name?
Steve. Josh is the current one. I actually
Steve.
want
Oh,
this.
Josh is the new one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve from the original. Which is funny because like he kind of is coming back into like the whole world of Blue's Clues again. He disappeared for all the time, whatever. So definitely a cool one. Especially if you were a fan of it, and it's cool that they're bringing it back. Obviously, we have Blue already in pop form, so it's cool that we're getting it. Like it looks like them too, which is a good mold. So like you said, I'm sure you like Blue. I know you got the Blue for your son,
I do.
right? And you
like
I
want this one for myself.
Yeah.
Mainly because I work for Nickelodeon, but I also think it's cool. I think it's going to be like the sleeper of the con. I think a lot of people are going to want this. I think this one is going to sell out rather quickly, in my opinion. I even noticed my cousin was telling me he's going to the con and he gets a lot of the autographs when he's there. He's completely sold out for the entire con already, pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Booked.
Oh, wow.
He is capturing his moments. And it's also kind of funny because he is now even in like he makes appearances in the new Blue's Clues show.
Yeah.
So
It's supposed to be like related or something, aren't they?
yeah, it's fun. All
like
of that
weird.
they basically have their own multiverse in the Blue's Clues and You world, which is hilarious. But yeah, so I mean, I think this is cool for the nostalgic reasons, and yeah, I think this is the sleeper hit of the con.
Yeah, definitely agree. I'll definitely pick this one up for sure because I do have the other ones as well, or the blue, the common, and the flocked one.
Oh wow,
So,
okay.
and I think they said when they were reviewing it doing the Funko Live on Twitter or Instagram that he's actually writing something on the pad. Like he actually, I think there's a paw print on the pad. I could be
Oh,
wrong, but I'm
Nice. That's
pretty sure
cool.
that's what they said.
it's
Yeah, it
cool
does
Pretty
because
look
there's
cool.
very nice.
actually a clue. Like so, like I said, my son has the pop. I got it for him. When you open the box, there's like his paw print is on the flap of the box, which is kind of cool. So like
That is
I
cool.
love that Funko does that for like inbox collectors. You may have never known that. So like that is
Mhm.
a fun fact, which I'm assuming that'll be on this box as well.
Yeah, definitely get
That
it.
was cool. Nice. Then we got this is the
Free guy.
oh my god, what's
Free
his name?
guy.
Free guy. Yeah, I was gonna say fun guy. I don't know why. So the movie, of course. So that's a pretty cool one. I think it's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that they would have made him or made that character in pop form. So it's a pretty cool one. I enjoyed the movie. I didn't like love it, but I thought it was entertaining.
Yeah,
So
It's funny.
like
I need
I
to
think
see
it's a
this
cool
movie.
one.
I have not seen this
Oh yeah,
movie
no,
yet.
I've seen it.
No,
Yeah,
which I
I
want
thought it
to.
was pretty good.
yeah, it's pretty
Like
good. I
it was
mean,
like an
there was
entertaining.
yeah, there could have been another version where he's holding something would have been a bit better, where he gets the shield, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this becomes a line of pops, in my opinion. I don't think this will be the only free guy. This movie is extremely popular. It made a ton of money. There's a sequel coming out too.
Yeah. Oh
So it's
wow.
more, yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So this was like a nice, like little sleeper hit for the studio. I think this is super cool pop though, especially if you're a fan, and Ryan Reynolds is just the man. So I like
Yeah,
the fact that I
anything
haven't
Ryan
seen this
Reynolds is
movie
good.
actually bothers me. But yeah, I think it's cool. I'm passing because I haven't seen the movie, but I feel like it's going to be a popular one for a lot of people.
Yeah, which it totally should be. Then the next one, I actually don't know who this is.
Do you try?
Rook. It's the only thing I know about it. I don't know anything
Is
about
that
this
what it's
character.
actually called?
I think that's like the
Yeah,
show,
so
or
I
I
don't
think it
know.
might be the character's
Is it an
name.
anime?
It's definitely an
Yeah.
anime.
Anime, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
don't want to
Rook
spend
is
too
the
much
name of
time on
my
that because
favorite
it's not
coffee
really.
place. So
So I guess we can move on from that one. If you guys
Yeah.
are Rook fans or whatever, like
I think
let
it's
us
from
know.
Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm maybe
Yes,
butchering
okay.
that name, but
Yeah, I think you
which
said that right.
I think that's a pretty popular
Which is pretty
anime.
popular, yeah, which is pretty popular. So makes sense if it's another character in there. They usually sell pretty well. But then we got Looney Tunes here. We got a Yosemite Sam. Don't know. Is this like a specific version of him or like the whole like armor
Excuse
on?
me. I feel like it must be from like a cartoon, like one of
Yeah, like
them.
a very
Or he's
specific
like
one.
I think he's
fighting
a
a
knight.
bull or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
knight
Night.
or something. Yeah.
yeah. I think
So
this
pretty
one's
cool.
yeah. It's random though.
Like the mold looks cool, color and everything, but yeah, not anything. We're not like huge hardcore fans of that. Then we got a Kaboom, which this is another one that came out as a soda initially, and now we're getting the pop of this. So of course, this is another like ad icon type person for them. I don't have the soda. I don't think I was able to get it when
I
it
don't
when it
have it
dropped.
either.
I remember. I did want it back then, but I wasn't able to get it. Uh, won't get this. Not really like a fan. Not like something that I'm like, yeah, I need that or
Yeah.
anything.
No.
The next one though, I'm gonna try to get. So we have another black light version. It's kind of interesting because I didn't think they were gonna do this, but I guess they are. They're going back to these OG like characters, and they're making them again in soda form, but in black light. Like they've already done it with Yogi Bear. They did it with Huckleberry Hound. and now we're getting the Grape Ape one. So like we're getting some of these old ones, which I think it's kind of lazy and dumb on their part, but they look cool like in the black light. I guess they're just trying to
Yeah.
maximize on, let's get out more black light sodas and get
And
more
yeah,
money
and
out of them. But
Hanna-Barbera. So like that's the
Yeah.
gift that keeps
yeah,
on
it's all
giving.
those
So
characters. Yeah, they're because what happens is they run out of the character itself. They got to just redo
yeah.
the character because they want to come out with more Hanna-Barbera stuff. So, but yeah, another blacklight one. So it's kind of cool, but I don't know. Are you guys gonna go after that one specifically? Like, I'm gonna try for it. I think
I think I am because I have the other
because
two.
I don't have the original one either. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I have the other two black lights from the con. So like I feel like yeah, I'm gonna go for this one.
Yeah. I'll definitely probably pass because I don't have any of the other ones as well. So
yeah. And then we got the second soda. So I know Charlie talked about the first time the 3 liter. So this is the second 3 liter that we were kind of hinting towards, and it is Juggernaut, which this is a perfect
This one's fire.
character for soda. Like the color is awesome, looks really cool. The chase is the mask like
Yeah, it's
does
like
he have no
broken
mask
up.
on or it's
it's
like
cracked,
broken,
I
right? Like
think.
cracked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which that's pretty cool. Like the whole concept of common chase. Um, but yeah, falls back into where like I don't know if I'm gonna get these 3 liter sodas just because of the whole price and size and everything. But this would be the one that I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense because it's a cool character. I think if I liked this character and specifically or X-Men and stuff, I would definitely want this one because this is probably one of the cooler ones that have come out of the 3 liters, in my opinion. But are you gonna go after that one too? Like, because are you going after the Maleficent one or
I don't know. I'm definitely going after this one. I love Juggernaut.
okay?
Like X-Men was like one of my favorites growing up. I love Juggernaut. I think this one's awesome. I feel like this should be the first one you go for, Migs, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's like I'm thinking like, oh, if I had to get one because I didn't. The other ones I was kind of like, maybe. This is the only one that I'm like, it's more of like I want it maybe like that, but not like I don't think I'm gonna go for it. So I gotta see. It's gonna be one of those when I'm in the moment and I'm building a cart. If it's like way too out of control, I'm gonna be like, nah, I don't want to add that to it. But like if it's on
Yeah.
the cusp of like
Which
not
is
too
fair.
many items, maybe I'll throw it in there. The
Yeah.
next pop I'm going after 100%. This honestly is probably one of my most wanted ones of this whole thing. And it's like just because it looks so sick, it's it's a pop that's coming out before we're getting the
Excuse me, guys.
is it a show or a movie they're doing? This is
Show
The show.
Secret Invasion
show, right?
on
Yeah, okay,
Disney
that's what I
Plus.
thought. Okay. So Secret Invasion, and so it's Nick Fury, his eye being like the Max Scherzer again. We're getting another version of that. Different colors. I just think it looks so cool. And like to me, it's just like it reminds me of like what was his name? The one from Loki, the Kang, but it wasn't Kang. He wasn't the pop wasn't
Yeah,
called
yeah.
Kang.
He Who Remains.
He Who Remains. Like it reminds me of that. Like it's a really like cool character. It's somebody it's like a big deal to Marvel. And like I just think it looks sick. And I love that it's from this version of the show that's gonna be coming out.
Yeah.
And it's before the show came out. So it's kind of like we like that. Like when New York Comic Con does it a lot where it'll drop a pop before it even actually is like shown or we don't see the movie or the show. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm assuming you guys definitely want this
Yeah,
one too.
I want this one 100%.
Yeah, I'll go for that one too as well.
Yeah, it's sick. And then we got 2 sodas. So these are the last 2 on the Funko. So the first one here is Phoenix, which super cool. I think this is probably the sodas I'm definitely like more excited for, and this is another one that I'm gonna go after this one. I think it's just a cool one. It's Marvel. The Marvel line in general is pretty strong for what they come out with. I think
agree.
comparing it to like any like DC we only got like one thing anyways at least in this page, but that one I like a lot. What do you guys think?
I want it. As simple as that. Like yeah,
It's cool enough.
Yeah, I collect all the Marvel sodas, so not gonna stop now.
Yeah, same here. I will probably go for that one as well. I mean, it looks cool. The chase looks pretty awesome as well.
Yeah. And then the last one, Shuri. I mean, that one looks awesome. The colors, like I think the mold is pretty sick, and then The Chase is a glow in the dark, which I'm usually not like a huge fan of glow in the dark ones, but I mean, I'm be happy even with the common of this. Like, I feel like it's still like a cool character. I have
Yeah.
at this point, I think I have at least all the Marvel ones. So at least getting one can of each would be suffice. I would be happy enough to get that. And Wakanda Forever is coming out, and we kind of have our own little ideas of what we think Shuri's going to be doing in these movies. So like her character is probably going to be a pretty big deal and around for a little while. So it's definitely one I'm going to want. I think that one will be pretty popular for like the sodas and like how fast they may sell out.
Yeah,
I agree.
I definitely agree. Yep.
I do want to derail this conversation really quickly. How random was it today that they decided to drop the exclusive pop on eBay before the Funko shop? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Was it on eBay? Oh, I didn't know that.
It was an eBay.
I saw like a glam shot of a
Funko
pop.
shop on eBay exclusive.
And then they
The whole
released
eBay
it,
thing that
like,
they're doing is so weird.
yeah, it was like 4 minutes after the drop, right? Or they announced, like, had the link or something like that. I don't remember.
So
I
random.
heard about it after the original time it dropped.
Not
Is it
to
still up?
like, yeah, I think it is. Everyone comment below if you're watching this on YouTube what you thought of that, because like that's a really weird strategy. Like, I don't know why they didn't drop that on Funko.com, but we can continue. I had to say that, but
Yeah, so now let's get to the second page and we'll kind of try to rip through these because
yeah,
it's been an intense like list of stuff. So I feel like we can kind of go quickly through the first two. Obviously, they're Reed Pop exclusives. I don't have they ever been specific to Reed Pop, the mascot ones? No, right? They usually just drop a Funko. I feel like.
no,
Yeah.
they normally are
Do
specific
they
to
always do
Repop.
Reed Pop? Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
so
so
you
it's
can
the
only
pigeon and
only
rat.
get them at the like Reed Pop booth at the con.
Wow, I
Okay.
didn't know that.
Or readpop.com for then there's like a New York Comic Con website, which obviously Repop does. I do think they sell them on there. So it's the opposite
Yeah.
of what they just did for San Diego Comic Con, where you could get the toucan. It's very obvious that's not the case for this.
Okay. So we got the two mascots. I have one. Actually, I think I was able to get both of them a couple years ago on NYCC. But I don't like love these characters, and like I always hate that they're always the ones that like, especially the bird one, because he's like so heavy and his beak always hits the window and it marks it all the time. Like
Yeah.
that's how mine was always marked and stuff. I was like, I don't know. I think these are ones that just kind of sit around. They're not as popular, I think, as they probably once were.
No, and they're
For
also
like the
like
mascots.
they're kind of just made up too, which is like
Yeah.
the toucan's like a thing where like they just decided one day to
No,
make
these were just
Funko
like
Pops.
New York. Yeah, like New York
Yeah,
it has a lot of pigeons. New York has a lot of rats. Like,
exactly. Yeah,
it's
like
literally what it is.
no, it is. So like
Let's make them into the thing.
for someone who collects Funko Pops, who's been to the con multiple times, like I've never even tried for these.
Yeah. So those are we got one Walgreens pop and it's Aquaman. This is like the comic style,
Yeah, it's
kind of random.
they seem to be
Like,
going back, just like each com picking like a character and making like an OG version of them. I love Aquaman,
yeah,
but I'm not getting this. Like, it's whatever.
no, that's
Yeah,
a
pass.
that's a pass.
And
Then we got Target. So Target's got 5 pops on this one. The first one I don't know who
it's
that
Park
is.
and Rex.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We always get one. I think it's a pass for all of us, right?
Yeah.
No, nothing I'm going for. Even the second one, I don't
Oh, I want the
know.
second
I
one.
feel like
Coach Beard
that
from
one
Ted
is
Lasso. This one's amazing.
okay. That's who it is. Okay, yeah. Okay. That's what I thought
Uh,
it was, but I was like, is that really him? Man, it's like, yeah.
yeah. So this one's super cool. This is from like that. This is like a specific episode version of him, which is interesting that they're already like doing that when the main line hasn't even come out yet. Which I think is weird. Like, to me, this is like what they would do for a Park and Recs pop or like an Office pop. I think it's a little
Yeah,
too
that has all the
soon.
episodes out.
Yeah, but I mean, I've said it before. This is one of my favorite shows. Like, I definitely want this.
Yeah, it looks cool. I
Yeah.
recognize him now. I haven't like caught up fully on the show, so maybe that's why I didn't
Okay, yeah.
recognize
Then
like
you
the
haven't seen this
actual.
then. Yeah.
Yeah. Trey, I'm assuming
I'll
you
probably pass.
haven't
I
watched
haven't,
the
I
show.
haven't yeah, no,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I heard it's good, but I have yet to see
Yeah,
it.
it's definitely a good show. Then we got Harry Potter Pop. We always usually get Harry Potter Pop.
Yeah.
Specifically Harry himself. I feel like we always get. So got another one of him. There are a lot of them obviously out there, but we got another one.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
actually
If you're a
it's
Harry
funny.
Potter fan,
If you're a Harry Potter fan, this is a cool pop. I'm surprised they've never made this before. It's like a pretty big moment in the books/movies. It's just
Yeah.
interesting. Out of the millions of pops that they have, they like
there's so
just
many.
decided to make this one. But it's a cool pop if you're a Potter fan. This is like a maybe
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Same here.
It's a pass for me just because too many of them. Then we got a Groot. I think I'm gonna go after this one because more for my daughter. She's like loves the Groot shorts, and this is like one of those like
Yeah, this one's
little
cool.
baby Groot. So like, it's funny because she never was I've never had her watch Marvel movies necessarily, but when she watched the shorts, they have the little Marvel intro, but then he like fast forwards it. So anytime she sees the regular Marvel one, she thinks it's gonna be the freaking Groot show. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, it's not Groot. I'm watching like She-Hulk or I'm watching something else, and she's like gets all mad. But it's a cool one, it's a cute one. I otherwise probably wouldn't have gotten it, but I think I'm gonna get it just for her specifically. But I don't know if you guys are passing on that or if it's something you're gonna get.
I want this actually. I collect like a decent amount of group pops. Like, I don't necessarily have like all the Guardians pops, but like Groot, I have like most of the Groot pops that they've made. So he's one of my favorite characters, and I want to continue it. And it's funny, my son loves those shorts as well. So
Yeah.
a nice little gateway into the MCU for the
For
youngins.
kids.
Exactly.
I think it's cool. I probably might get it as well because our first pop that we ever got was the Groot from the original Guardians of the Galaxy. So we have a
In the
few
Nice.
pot.
Groots as well. Yeah. So I think we might continue to get as many Groots as we can. So it's pretty cool.
Yep. And then the last one from Target. I don't know who that is.
It's on Jurassic Park Dominion.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was gonna say she looked like America Chavez. And I had to like look at it to see if it said Marvel because I was like, is that her?
This pop is interesting to
But
me. Just give a quick rundown. Like, they didn't have a pop of her in the main line. She's a main character in the movie. Don't understand why that didn't happen. It's just kind of random that this is a comp pop.
yeah,
It's almost like
it is a little weird, huh?
they just like said, okay, we're just gonna take one pop from that line and make it a comp pop, and they just did because that's a
Yeah.
huge line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The pass for me, but
Same.
yeah. Pass. Okay, we've got 2 rows here left. FYE, which is interesting. They're still in the game. I haven't seen an FYE in like a while around
Nope.
us. They're like all shut down.
There's like
But it's
2 hours
another,
away from me.
yeah, another Simpsons one. This looks like another one of those like bully characters.
Yep. They
This
go
is just
hand in
like another
hand.
one.
Those two
Yeah,
characters. This
which
should
is
have been
cool
a
that they're both
2-pack.
coming out. Yeah, it
Should
would
have
have
been a
been even better as a
2-pack.
2-pack. I was gonna say, but it's cool that at least they're both coming out in the con, same con. But again, probably similar to like the last one, right? We're not really like it's not
Yeah,
anything that we
pass.
go after.
Yeah.
We got a Britney Spears pop,
A
which
late
is
game addition
interesting.
to
This
this
was one of
list.
those ones that was
Yeah.
added super late. Yep, added super late, way after the official announcement. And then they were like, "Oh, hey, we got a Britney pop. Let's drop another one of these." And I mean, if you're a Britney Spears fan, it's like they hit enough of her videos and characters and stuff. So, but I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm gonna get.
Pass for me.
Yeah, same.
Passing on Britney. Then we got Hot Topic, which, like Trae said, a lot of times is heavy on like anime and stuff. So we do have a bunch of anime. We have, I believe, that first one's from One Piece. Is
Yeah.
that what that? Yeah, I think so.
I
Right,
think his
in the
name's
ship.
Luffy. Luffy, I think the name is of the character.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I'm
So
pretty sure that's what it is.
it's a cool looking like mold, and it's in a ship, and it's got like the little crossbones in the back, which obviously is like one of the big symbols for like One Piece. I've never watched that anime. It's kind of falls into the animes where we're usually kind of like we don't know
Yeah.
much about them to even mention too much
Yeah,
about
it
it.
looks cool. Yeah.
Um, but it is a cool looking mold, and then of course we got another Dragon Ball Z. So we got another Goku, which is that's kind of interesting. There's not just two Dragon Ball Z pops, we have two Gokus like in this con.
Yeah.
And it's just another metallic one as well. It's just like a different version of him, obviously, a different, Super Saiyan, something else. It's a little different, but to me, they're all kind of like at this point, there's just too many of them.
Yeah.
So passing on that, which I'm assuming we're all going to pass on that, and probably even the next one,
Yeah,
which
I'm
is
passing
a
on basically entire everything on Hot
two
Topic.
pack, two
Even the
pack.
soda?
No,
No,
almost
definitely
everything.
not. Yeah, the two pack. I don't even. That's another. I think it's probably that one you named last time, right?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
The Jujutsu Maven.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it is. If you guys know, I'm sorry if we're butchering all this like anime stuff, and you guys are huge anime fans, because I'm sure we have listeners that are. You guys might want this stuff, and if you do, it's just not our cup of tea. But we'll just get through them. And then we got a Joker pop, which I'm a huge Joker fan, but I'm not gonna go after this one. It's a little too like niche and like I don't know. It's like him royal and he's holding on to like a little Harley Quinn like staff, but that's
Yeah.
a pass for me, even though I love Joker. But I had to get to this one. So this is between this, the Borat, and the Nick Fury are probably my three most wanted ones at like 100%. Like this is hands down one of my favorite sodas that has ever come out, and one of my
Wow.
favorite movies. Yes, easily love this movie, and I need this because I don't know if they make this in pop, and they may, and it might be a really old pop, but it's like one like I would definitely want or try to get, but I just never was able to if it do exist. I don't know if it exists, but yeah, I have to do this.
It
Now it's
does.
interesting that they're calling it Eric, obviously under his real name, so it's not like the Crow, which is where it's
Yeah.
from. If you guys didn't know, but they put it under his name, Eric. So which is cool because that's obviously who he is. But yeah, I love it. I think it looks exactly like him. Like it's super cool. Like I don't think the chase necessarily is like amazing, but I just want one of these. Like I'm happy with
Yeah.
it.
I agree. Though I do. Are you surprised they didn't say put the crow on the can and put his
Yeah,
name?
I wonder why. Like there must be. I mean, like I feel like they've done this sometimes with certain sodas where it's like they'll go with like a name, but usually you would think it would be the Crow. I mean, obviously, I'm sure on the back it'll say the Crow, like based off of where it's from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they went with the name, so which I think is kind of cool that they went with the name, and I'm guessing that's what the Pog would also say, because it
Yeah.
usually the Pog matches what the can says.
Because the Funko
But
Pop says
yeah, I
the
love it.
crow. Because
Okay, so it
they
does.
do make a
Yeah, yeah,
Funko Pop of it.
they
It's
do,
like an
right?
OG
Okay,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like an OG one, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It
yeah,
was.
definitely one I would like. But yeah, it's interesting that they didn't that the Pop does it, but this didn't. So, but I love it. The hands down, like want this one.
Yeah,
Same.
I'll get it as well.
It just looks cool. And then you can run through that
Yeah, I go.
last.
So we got
Got a
Entertainment
few in the
Earth.
bottom.
We have Merida. So Trae, you getting that one?
Yeah, I'm getting that
Yeah,
one.
Trey's a big
Go.
Meredith fan.
Um,
Yeah.
cool. I don't understand why this is a con pop. Um,
Yeah,
it's not an
looks very
anniversary
basic
to
too.
my,
Like
there's nothing
yeah,
that great about it. When I saw this at first, I was like, I loved the movie Brave. I'm on the fence if I'm gonna get this one or not. I feel like I lean more towards not because like there's just nothing like that. Like it's not that much different than the common.
Yeah.
It's just like a newer mold because I don't know if there's like a common Merida Pop in like the new like look of Funko Pops where it's more detailed, if that makes sense. They've made
Yeah.
like the ones that come with the pin, like the gold series, but I don't know if we have
yeah.
one that
What
like
should do?
is this detailed. So that could be it's one redeeming factor. But what do you guys
Yeah,
think?
I'll probably get
yeah.
Okay.
It's a pass for me. Yeah. I think this whole bottom row is a pass for me, but we'll go through them.
Yeah, so the next one we have is I think this is a character from Green Lantern, I believe. I'm not sure the name off the top of my head. Maybe Starfire, or
Yeah,
Sapphire,
I think
maybe Sapphire.
that's it or something like that.
This is a pass for me. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm very selective with DC characters I get, and this is not one of them.
Yeah,
It's a pass.
same.
I feel like when they do cons and DC characters, they always kind of just throw in like random ones a lot of times.
It's super. But at the same time, like I think that's kind of cool as well. Like it's just not from our fandom, but like they're kind of just like thrown in random ones. All right, this next one. Now we're heading into Walmart territory. I actually really want this one. This is from a Pixar short. I think it's a super sweet 2-pack. This is extremely like I feel like niche. When I saw this, I was like, oh my god, they're making a Funko Pop of this. I think it's cool. I want this one. It's a great short. So obviously it's a pass for Migs. What about you, Trae? Have you seen this?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the short either, but I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. So I might just end up passing on it. Looks cool, but I have no idea who
You
they
could
are.
probably watch the short really quick and make a decision if you want to get this Funko Pop or not.
I probably could, yeah.
Yeah.
Then the next one, another Office Pop.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't collect The Office, weirdly, even though I love that show. Way too many. They continuously make like, I feel like this is another the gift that keeps on giving. They just find any way they can make a mold from a specific episode. This is Minnie Kaling's character. It's a pass for me, but if you're an Office fan, it's cool.
Yeah, pass as well.
Same.
This next pop, I believe, is from Ben 10. This is been like a very.
Didn't they make this soda?
They did, not of this mold, but they announced soda first. I think this is the first ever pop.
Yes.
Okay. So this I think is gonna be along the lines how I said before with the Steve from Blue's Clues. I think this is gonna be another like must have for a lot of people. It's not for me, but I think this is like a sleeper hit of the con as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna want this, Trae?
I get what you're saying.
I'll probably pass. I never got into Ben 10. I would see it kind of reminds me of like the Danny Phantom when that one first came out. But yeah, I was more into Danny Phantom than I was in the Ben 10.
Nickelodeon's better, that's why. This is Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
All right, we're on the final stretch. 2 more pops. Next is Neville, version of Neville Longbottom from Harry Potter. Cool pop, iconic scene, but
yeah,
I don't need another Neville pop. Like I'm good with the one I have. I'm assuming. Oh, you will. Okay. Are you a big Harry Potter fan?
I'm not, but my wife and daughter are.
Okay.
And they don't have any of the Nevilles, or they don't have the Neville pops. So this might be the first one that they get.
Okay.
And I always make fun of them.
It's a cool one
like,
too.
oh, yeah, it does look cool. And I always like, because my wife's like, oh, I'm team, what is it, Gryffindor?
Yeah.
And I'm always like, nah, it's Team Hufflepuff. That's where it's at. And she's just like, no, that's the lame team. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm more of a Slytherin.
Neville.
Yeah, my daughter loves Slytherin.
Neville, I believe it's Neville, is also like a supermodel right now. Like he grew into like being like this ridiculous.
He really grew into his own. I mean, and that happened towards the end of the series. It was like, what the heck? Like this is the same character.
Yeah,
buddy.
All right, and then
that last one, Charlie.
We're ending it with a Star Wars Andor pop. We mentioned last week, like where are the Andor pops besides the con? This to me is the next logical choice. It's Andor's droid from the show. It's a new character. I'm getting this one. I want this.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
assuming
cool one. I mean,
it's
if
a
you watch
pass
the
for everyone
show,
else, right?
well, I'd probably pass on it, yeah. But like I actually enjoy. I've only watched one episode so far of it, and obviously he well, the droid is in the episode, and I actually loved the droid character because like it had a stutter, which is like hilarious that they did that to like a droid. Like it's just
I
funny
I
to
thought it was
me.
random. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was so
definitely
funny.
yeah.
Like, well, at least in that first episode it was. I don't know if something was up with him, but yeah, it's a cool one. I don't usually collect like the droid like pops or anything, but if you're a fan of obviously the show and big Star Wars fan, it's a cool one to have. Like you said, it's the next one in the line of the Andor wave, which I'm sure they're gonna have plenty more. But it's a cool one. It's a cool one to be as a common pop, I guess. Probably a pass though for me. But it's a cool one.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I haven't seen the show yet. I've been That's on the list of many things to watch, but it looks cool, but yeah, I'll probably definitely pass.
All right. So I mean,
Yeah.
that was like we said this in the beginning. This just
Heavy.
seems like, and maybe it's the same as usual, but it just doesn't feel that way. This seems huge. There's so
Yeah.
much to choose from. They hit like a ton of fandoms. I think this is overall, I think this is a pretty strong like lineup. Like very
Yeah.
strong in my opinion.
Yeah, I think overall, just based off of, the variety, we're getting pops, we're getting sodas, we're getting some deluxe stuff, like the mix, we're even getting the 3 liters, we got 2 of them, and just like the fandom thing, like you said, just hitting all different types. Like it's pretty cool. We don't have like all the most obvious, most popular, like we don't have any Batmans, we don't have any super big
Yeah.
Marvel name characters. Like we don't have that, but we have enough of really cool ones and kind of one-off ones. And the first time we're getting a Borat pop and things like that. So I think like it overall hits kind of everything. We don't have as many like big deluxe pops though, actually, if you think about it, except for that like
No.
first box lunch one, really. And then the
Yeah.
dragon one, I guess. But like for the most part, they're all pretty just standard pops and some sodas. So it's kind of cool. And we're obviously getting the pop bag like we've been getting. We're getting a t-shirt, so a lot of the stuff that we're always getting. But it's kind of a good mix, I think, overall. But yeah,
Hmm.
exciting. There's a lot of stuff though, for sure. And a lot of stuff. Like as we were going through it, I kind of was like putting in my head, like, okay, yeah, that's a yes. Like trying to build my cart now because I'm
Me
like,
too.
don't want to go too crazy. And I definitely want to get some of the NFT packs that are going to be dropping this week as well before the con. So I got to kind of be smart with what I grab or try to grab.
Yeah, there's just too. I think this is a better lineup even than San Diego Comic Con. There's just too many
Yeah.
ones that I want. I'm gonna have to be selective and trim the fat a little bit. It's just gonna be hard
Yeah.
for me to do.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what sits behind. What are the ones that are going to kind of just sell out super fast and which ones are the ones that are going to kind of
Well,
be
it's
there
funny.
for a
A
few days.
pattern that I've noticed recently, if it's a Funko.com exclusive, they sit much longer because they don't have to share the allotment with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, that means they weren't as popular. And it's not, that's not the case, but they didn't have to have them at the show. I mean, they're
The
only
actual
at the
Funko
show.
site themselves won't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not sharing them with
Yeah.
any of the other retailers.
very true. So if you are shopping strictly on Funko, because if you guys don't know, obviously all of these will drop on Funko, and then the retailers will have their own versions as well. But if you're shopping strictly on Funko, which is usually what I do, I usually just try to grab everything through Funko.
Me too.
Definitely go after the other version retailers that happen to be on the Funko shop first, like Charlie said, because those are probably the ones that will go the fastest. One
Hmm.
like fandom that I was surprised there's not pop up on here is Pokemon. Surprised there's not any
Oh,
Pokemon
wow.
characters,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there usually always is, even if it's a
Or Demon
redone one in
Slayer.
metallic or something.
Which is
Yeah,
all
so
I
there's a
feel like
few,
they ever do.
yeah, a few pretty big fandoms were kind of missed, even though, like we said, we they obviously hit a lot of stuff. There are a few that I feel like kind of surprisingly we didn't get any of. So
Yeah.
interesting, but
Another
Yeah.
fun fact, though, which I never realized this until actually Trae with Toy Tokyo, you
Yes.
actually get the con sticker, the official one, if you order from toytokyo.com, which
Yeah,
is
that's actually
interesting.
what I was gonna say too. So if
And
you
not through
plan
Funko.
on getting,
Yeah.
yeah, if you have to get it through the Toy Tokyo. So, but the only bad thing is if they bundle everything together.
Which they normally
So
do.
like, yeah, which yeah they normally do. So if
But you
you
think they'll
do
do it
want
now?
just,
There's 4 pops.
they've done
Or
it.
5.
I think they've done it before in the past where they had 4 pops and it was a bundle,
Oh,
like a
yeah, I
few
wouldn't want
years
all
ago.
those.
See, that's where like I don't. It's funny. I want 2 out of the 4, but I do not care enough about that sticker to
Yeah,
have to
to
Yeah,
buy
get
the
all
other
again,
of
pops.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
again, that's gonna be, your preference. If you want to get the Toy Tokyo sticker,
Yeah.
then or you can just go to the Funko shop and just get the shared.
Yeah. So, well, but that's it. So obviously a ton of awesome stuff
A
coming
ton.
out. We went through it all. Let us know your thoughts. Obviously everything with the box that we spoke of before for the Fright Night. If you guys are lucky enough to go to the event, none of us are going to be going. But if you're able to go, like definitely let us know. Specifically that Fright Night event as well. If you're able to get tickets to that, that'll be really cool. It's gonna be cool to see kind of like what that event's going to be and if they're going to do that going forward. It seems like now these big conventions are going to always kind of do one of these events. I know me and Charlie were talking about like where is this event going to take place, and like the whole logistics of it is still interesting to see how they're going to pull that off. But
It's funny though. I found
hopefully they
out
do.
where it is. It's on the rooftop of the Javits Center,
Oh
which is
wow.
interesting. Yeah.
Oh,
So it gives them space. I hope it's a good night.
Day. Yeah, night.
Because the weather hasn't been too kind here. And if it rains, I don't know what's going to happen. So that now, made sense
I'm
of when we
assuming
were
they have
talking
something
about
covering, maybe some kind of
probably like an event
structure tent or
tent,
something.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
let me tell you, that wouldn't hold up today if the event happened in that rain.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was so
So
bad.
it's just interesting, but it makes more sense when we were like, where's it going to be? How are they going to have enough room? Like, it
Yeah.
looks like it's in a pretty nice spot, actually. It made me a little more angry that we're not going.
Yeah, the backdrop's gonna look amazing, I'm sure, of all the
Yeah.
buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind
It,
of cool.
it, it looks awesome.
So, but yeah, that's gonna be it for episode 45. Thank you to Trae. Thank you for coming on again. Really appreciate it. I'm sure it won't be the last time you'll be on. In the future, I'm sure you'll be back again. But we really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody listening. And like always, Charlie will let you guys know where you can follow us, and as
Yeah.
well as Trae, let everybody know, your handles and channel and stuff too. So
Yeah. Trae, you,
you
you
want to
give
tell us, Trae?
your stuff.
All right, so my Instagram is what I don't even know it sometimes. It is STX_collectibles, which should be the same for Twitter as no TikTok. It's the same as TikTok. So STX_collectibles for TikTok and
The
Instagram,
Walking
and
Dead.
then yeah, and then also the
He has his own theme song to his Twitter.
yeah, and
And
then YouTube is South Texas Collectibles. So
yes.
And Trey's the Turtle
Definitely check
Man. He
him
has
out.
a sweet new logo now. So definitely
yes,
Oh yeah.
go check out his page. It's amazing. And once again, I also apologize for the sniffles. So you obviously heard that throughout the podcast. But thank you so much for your support. I know I said it in the beginning, but I always say it at the end. Thank you for listening on the podcast. But please, come to our YouTube channel. We're slowly growing. I like to think that some of our podcast viewers have come over to help over us on the channel on YouTube. And like I always say, like this week, knock on wood, but I think we're gonna have some NFT pack openings. Because for some reason it seems like people aren't too excited about this Game of Thrones drop, which I don't know why, because we're super pumped. So come see if me and Migs can start a new redeemable streak, because
Yes.
unfortunately it ended. But the fact that Migs didn't get Looney Tunes ones means if he pulls a redeemable, like his streak kind of is still going. So we can say the collector chatter one still is
Yeah.
going if we get
We'll
the
keep it
Game of
going.
Thrones. But when you come over to that YouTube channel, please just like I said, subscribe, like our videos, comment, hit that notification bell so you know when our new videos come out, because we still decide, what time is best for our viewers. So it's not like it's always the same every week. But yeah, once again, just, thank you so much. And thank you, Trae, again for coming on. It's always fun and having you on. You've been a great friend, not just to me, Migs, but to the channel. You always support us, especially on our Instagram. You always, put us in your story. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you. I appreciate it for the great content. I mean, it gives me something to listen to, something that I enjoy, Funko Pops. And then even when y'all talk about movies or whatever the case is, like I definitely enjoy hearing the podcast and then obviously talking to y'all through Instagram. Like it's a great time. I enjoy it.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And everyone, good luck at New York Comic Con. Until the next episode. Later, everyone.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.